Oh, Pisces. Hello there, my beautiful Pisces signs. Make sure you settle in because you got a wild ride, a wild reading. I was meditating on your energy and the song that I was guided to listen to. I don't know why, but I've been on like a piano kick, like almost like classical, but it's like not, I can't explain it. But the song is called The Interstellar Experience by Penguin Piano. Yeah, this is Penguin. Anyways, you might want to check that song out. It was just giving me like cool vibes, very chill, very just like, I don't know, a lot of mental stimulation happening with my third eye. But as I listened to that and I listened to it and meditated and pulled your spread, which is a traditional Celtic cross spread of about 10 tarot cards, it was very clear the message that's happening for you. So maybe some of you are even having like out of body experiences or some weird connections to people, or past life dreams might be significant because there's a lot of past energy, but there's a lot of like karmic energy that I'm getting from this. And it's like destined or fated connections that you're having in this lifetime based on previous lifetimes, that it's like you're so connected with these people that you're in this energy with that you can't really explain it, but it's just like interwoven, like a web. It's almost like a connection that I can't really quite put into words, and it's quite literally interstellar feeling. So that might be just a vibe at this time. But you're, I'm getting a cold chill on my left side. You might be experiencing cold chills too, or some weird sensations when you go to bed. That kind of happens when you're accessing like supernatural abilities. You might be feeling like fluxes in your energy body. So sometimes when we are really attuned to our energetic centers and our frequency and things like that, we experience almost like swirling, where it's almost like a dizzying feeling, but it's not our physical body, it's our energetic field, which is our toroidal field, which is our our electromagnetic field. This is science. Okay, if you don't believe me, just give it a Google and you'll be like mind blown. Okay, it's physics and it's spirituality combined. There's a great book called Quantum Spirituality that I recommend people to read. It's just a shameless plug because I don't get paid for it, but it's just a cool book that I think kind of combines a lot of stuff that I like to incorporate into my tarot readings, which is physics and science and, just like those basic things that help justify or basically give a reasoning to the lifestyle that I'm choosing to live, which is one that's based on healing energetic centers to heal trauma and to heal the psyche, which is all combined. Now, sorry for the tangent, Pisces, but your current situation is the 10 of Wands, which leads me to believe there's a lot of baggage in the past that you're carrying. Again, this could be like past life memories that you're having. Maybe some of you are doing like hypnotherapy and you're really tapping into that, or some of you might have access to your Akashic records and you might be getting like blips of visions in your dreams, or in some sort of like gamma brainwave state that you've reached. But what's crossing you right now is the Emperor energy. So this is maintaining your masculine side. This is the challenge right now, is to like stay in this masculine mode, which is a mode of like getting stuff done, discerning, providing and protecting, and kind of being the go-getter. So that might be the challenge for you. My cat wants inside, so cat might be a significant message, or somebody's at your door, maybe, Pisces. That might be what's happening. Now, the foundation of this situation of the baggage from the past and being in this masculine energy, and we all have like masculine and feminine energy. It's yin and yang. It's fluid. So if you're not a man, or you are a man watching this, and vice versa, whatever, like take it as it resonates. And it might be somebody in your energetic field if it's not you. So if it does resonate, please smash that like button because it helps my channel grow. But the foundation of this situation is based on the truth. It's based on authenticity. It's based on an honest adult conversation with the Ace of Swords here. So it's like being honest with yourself, being honest with somebody else when it comes to this past pain, this past burden, or maybe the baggage that you're carrying right now that you're trying to figure out how to release. Now, in your recent past, you have the Page of Pentacles, which is an opportunity. This could be like an opportunity of study. This could be maybe you throwing yourself into like self-help research books, just understanding the psyche in general, or trying to understand the interstellar connectedness that we are all interwoven into. So it could be like maybe you've done some research into the ether, or Gnostic type things, or mystical type of I don't know, information, or just esoteric stuff, or occult stuff, however you want to phrase it. But Page of Pentacles is about like planting a seed of something. So it could be you also planted a seed of like a new job, or pursuing something else that's like a tangible 3D thing. So take that as it resonates. But your present energy is a bit of an escapist energy as well. So it's like, you know what you need to do, but you're not doing it. And I think that's why the Emperor is crossing you here. It's like, you know what has to be done, but you're running away from something, or trying to pacify yourself through things that aren't necessarily serving you. It's like you're prolonging the inevitable. But you already know what needs to be done. You're just running away a little bit. That's what Seven Swords is. Now, in your near future, you have the Queen of Cups. So it's like, whatever you're running away from, I do feel like it's like you're almost fearing yourself too far, because like it's not going to be as bad as you're anticipating. I don't think, not that to say it's going to be great, but I don't think it's going to be as bad as you think. You're definitely afraid of losing a love of some sort. It could be a friendship or something like that, because the Two of Cups is like in your control in the situation. And I feel like if you maybe tell someone how you're feeling, or if you're really, really honest about your feelings, you're afraid that it's going to cause disruption. And it might, but I don't think it will be it won't have the repercussions you're expecting. It's going to have a different outcome, and it's going to be for the greater good for all parties involved, because you have in your subconscious the Six of Swords, and that's about sailing from choppy waters into calmer seas. That's progress. You're moving forward in the right direction, because you're being truthful and you're being honest. And how do people see you, Pisces? They see you as this Ten of Pentacles. They see you as having it all, and sometimes that's illusory. It's just not real, especially when there's like social media and people like to post everything that they're doing, but it's not really what they do. It's like a snippet of a millisecond of the day, and it makes their lives look very grand from an outside perspective, when 9 times out of 10 it's usually not that way. But that's like marketing, and that's basically what people do on social platforms, is they market themselves, which I understand that fully, being on a YouTube video, marketing my business, marketing myself for people to watch. So you see a snippet of my life through these videos, and a snippet of my personality through these videos, and sometimes that can feel fake, sometimes that can be misleading. And I think people seeing you as this like Ten of Pentacles, as like this person that has it all together, it might like boost your ego a little bit. But I also feel like it's like, if you only knew, you know what I mean? Like I have that in my head, like, oh, if you only knew what I had to go through to get this, or if you only knew like the burdens and the baggage that I'm carrying, if you only knew the heavy weight of the truth, like, and it's not for everyone to know. So you're going to have to use discernment there, Pisces. Your truth is not for everyone, and that's okay. Your hopes and fears, you have the Five of Swords. You're afraid of conflict. I think you're thinking there's going to be a lot of conflict, and you're not wrong, but you're not exactly right either. I know this seems like a little bit back ass words, but it's a very, the end result is going to lead to longevity, harmony. you're not going to get this instant gratification in the short term, Pisces. That's what you're looking for, and that's why you're kind of doing this escapist behavior. So maybe you're busying yourself with like apps or baking or overeating or overindulging in some sort of fashion. It could be like gambling. It could be like watching inappropriate things online, like, you know, like however you're spending your time to run away from your problems. It's just instant gratification that you're seeking, but it's not gonna last forever. And the long-term effects of telling the truth are going to be for your best, highest good. Now, Pisces, in your outcome here, you have 8 of Wands. This is a card of fast-moving energy. It's a card of communication, and I do feel like you're gonna like you're either gonna blurt it out at some point because you can't hold it in anymore, or you're gonna actually like get out of this energy and move into more of this loving Queen of Cups zone where you're like approaching someone or something or a situation in a heart space that's like, hey, you know, I really need to sit down and get this off my chest. And I do feel like that's where you're transitioning into, Pisces. So overall, good energy, heavy energy, lots of baggage, but who doesn't have baggage? Like, we're all human. We all carry traumas with us, whether we want to or not. It's tied to our energetic bodies as well. So I also saw 1111 on the recording clock there. So that might be a significant number for you. Check out that angel number, but it's usually symbolic of like portal energy where you have a choice to make, and it's going to be a choice that's based either in love or in fear, and that's going to determine your next step on this journey. I do feel like you definitely know what you need to do. It's just up to you if you're committed to a life of betterment, or if you're going to be living in this mode of fear. And it's really just, again, it's just prolonging the inevitable. Because if you don't pull off the Band-Aid, somebody else will, or you're going to get a rash, you know? So that's a very specific message for somebody. I guess that's when you know I'm a parent. Like, you're going to get a rash if you don't take off that Band-Aid. It's true, though. I don't know who invented latex Band-Aids, but I would like to thank them. All right. Oh, boy. Fast-moving energy. Whether you want it or not, Pisces. Horse. Cheetah. Like, it's not getting any better. It's just not. You have number 47, go the distance. That's from the Wisdom Oracle card. That means like you're almost at the finish line. You could just like keep trucking. Just, you're right there. You're so close. So close. You have the horse card. This is Sagittarian energy. Horses, centaurs. Find the balance between your instinctive and your tamed parts of your personality. Again, I just feel like that's like that escapist behavior. You know what you're doing. You're wise enough to understand yourself, but it's like, are you committed to betterment? Because that's what's testing you at this time. You have the commitment card from my Power of Love deck. This is from James Yvonne Praw's deck. I love his books. He's a great, pretty popular psychic medium. And yeah, just shameless plug there. I just like his stuff, so make sure you go check that out. It says you dedicate yourself to your beliefs wholeheartedly, knowing that love is the essence of your very being. I had a rough start there, so maybe your throat chakra needs a little bit of work at this time. This card is from my Moon Oracle deck. It says, I am grateful for all that is unfolding in my life and all that is yet to come. So even in the worst of times, when there's chaos and there's strife and there's pain and there's conflict and there's apathy and regret and remorse and anxiety and all of these lovely feelings that we have, it's also a nice reminder, like, you're alive. It's kind of like getting poked by a rose's thorn. It's like the bittersweet juices of smelling the bounty. I don't know how else to put that. I know that's kind of a weird statement, but I just you can't have the beauty without the pain. You can't have the wisdom without the trials. You can't have character. Oh, I hate this statement. You can't have character or personality without having gone through trauma. Usually the funniest comedians, the funniest people out there have had like the worst lives, but they've transmuted their pain into something joyous or momentous for someone else. And I think that's your challenge at this time. And it's hard to do when you're in a mode of conflict and when you're in a mode of escapism as well. The next card I have for you, Pisces, is discovery. This is tied to your root chakra, but it is like you're discovering your sense of self, your just sense of what it is you want out of life. The root chakra is tied to our basic needs. It's like the family, the finance, the survival mechanisms that we're all in tune with that are setting our foundation, essentially. So I do feel like you're trying to discover and mold and adapt to what it is that you're truly wanting your life to look like versus what it was before and what your expectation was before. Wise people shift and can adapt to change, and that's what's being asked of you at this time. But it is a choice. So you have to choose, Pisces, what's worth it to you. But at some point, sometimes spirit or the universe or whatever will just shove us into something, whether we want it or not. So if you're in this escapist mode and you're waiting for somebody else to make a choice for you, they will, but it will be easier for everybody if you just are open and honest first and forthcoming. And I saw 555 on the recording clock there, so that's a signifier of major change. Now, your third eye intuition, Spirit wants you to practice. It says, how does your intuition show itself? Is it visual or in imagery? Is it symbolism or in a flash? Sit and write down anything you've noticed that's out of the ordinary lately and tune in. So sometimes you'll get guided messages through numbers, numerology, angel numbers, those sorts of things. Sometimes you'll see it on the clock or your watch or whatever it is. Like you'll happen to be like, oh, it's 11:11. That's weird. I've been seeing that for the last 3 days. Typically, that's just a synchronicity from your guides to help you, to guide you. And if you look up that number or message, there's probably something there for you. Now, also, it can come in the form of animals. So if you see an animal, maybe you haven't seen in a long time, or, something that really sticks out to you, that's typically tied to something as well. So like, for instance, I had a dream a long while back about a blue horse, and I was like, well, that was so weird. I haven't, like, why is there a blue horse? And then I looked up the spiritual meaning of a blue horse, and I was like, oh my goodness, it was a giant message for me that I needed at that time. And ironically, I had just watched like Frozen 2, the kids movie with my children, and it was like a crazy spiritual message in that movie that I was like, wow, the person who wrote this movie is so awake, and the symbolism inside that movie is crazy. Like, I know people are going to be like, a Disney movie? What? The Fifth Element, okay? That's another classic film. But basically, Frozen just takes Elsa, and she is the fifth element, which is our divine connectedness. It's our inner power, and she has access to her supernatural freezing abilities because she is the fifth element, and she's tapped in, okay? Now, I understand that this is a movie, so I'm not like, I don't think most people have the power to freeze things, but who knows? Who knows in this world? Okay. It's 10:35 as I'm recording this video, and I just pulled number 35 on the I Ching. So there's another synchronicity for you. Go look up that angel number 35. Maybe you're 35 years old. Maybe somebody you're dealing with is 35 years old, or I don't know. Something's happening there. It says advancing. Prince Kong used a gift of horses to breed a multitude. More horse energy. In the course of the day, he mated them 3 times. Like Prince Kong, brother of King Wu, who was rewarded for his loyalty with horses, you have been given gifts that you must make the most of. Strength, and inspiration, and popularity enable you to travel further and faster. Magnify your blessings by acting accordingly to seize the opportunities to advance and prosper. What gifts and opportunities have you been given, and how can you make the most of them? definitely alchemizing pain from the past to create something that's going to allow you to move forward. And maybe that's discovery. Maybe you're rediscovering like what lights your fire, or your passions and your hobbies, and what things you want to do. I saw something about glass blowing the other day, and I was like, oh, that sounds interesting. Like, I've always been curious about it, but I've never dabbled in it. So maybe that's a message. Skiing, or, oh gosh. Okay, sorry, I said the trigger word, which was skiing. My guides have been trying to get me to go skiing again, and I've been resisting their guidance. So sometimes they make my lights go on and off. Sometimes they make my smoke alarms go on and off. And that smoke alarm, there's no smoke, there's no fire, there's no nothing. So if you're experiencing those energetic activities or whatever, I'm not even sure what to call it, paranormal things, sometimes that's just a confirmation you need to move forward and advance. And that's what you're doing with the advancing card. Now, the answers you need are coming. Full moon in Gemini, Pisces. So some of you might have a lot of Gemini in your chart, or something along those lines. So if you've been waiting for something, now's the time. You're going to get clarity with the lunar cycles though as well. And then the last card I have is the bridge. This one is like this reminds me of the song by Janae Aiko. It's like, trust is a bridge. And I forget what the other lyrics is, something about love, but trust is a bridge. So it's like you're building some sort of trust with yourself because you're following your heart space. You're being in an attitude of gratitude, and you're committed to betterment. And it's leading you on this path and this road of discovery. And sometimes we resist that change. We resist helping ourselves. And that's why, I think that's why my guides are trying to make my ears bleed with the smoke alarm going off, because they are really pushing me to do something I haven't done in a long time, and I should probably listen to them. But sometimes we resist change because of the past baggage that we have, or the memories that maybe hold us back, and that's perfectly normal. And I am human, as far as I know, and I am not any different than anyone else. And Spirit likes to humble us in certain ways and send us synchronicities and reminders, so that way we can move forward and heal and grow and change and forgive ourselves and learn to love ourselves and do stuff for ourselves that will help us elevate and vibrate higher. So that's what's happening right now. And I also saw 2222 on the recording clock. So it's like confirmation for you, Pisces. You're right where you're meant to be. And everything's in alignment, even if it feels a little off kilter. You're right where you're supposed to be. So you are divinely guided. You are protected. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching this video. If it does resonate, please smash that like button. It helps my channel grow, and I greatly appreciate it. And I will see you next time.